Hey guys, this is Shane here with Echo Soundworks. So I'm back with another cool tip and trick tutorial video for you guys. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 techniques that I love to use to make any chord progression sound more emotional, more vibey, and just give it more character. So let's dive into our DAW and get going. All right, so the first thing I want to touch on is sound selection matters. So when you're going for some emotional character, vibey sound, you got to be careful in the types of sounds you choose because you might think, well, I can just process it. Sometimes you can't. Here's an example. I actually really like this piano sound for house tracks. It's a M1 piano. So let's check it out real quick. All right, throw some sidechain on that and you have a little house track going. Now, let me play something emotional with this. Same patch. It's just not going to hit right, even if you filter it out, add some processing. Now compare that with something that just sounds more vibey and emotional right off the bat. I'm going to pull up our Loft piano, and this is the soft patch. Same chords I just played. Right, it just starts to hit you in the feels. Now if you have a better starting point and then you start to process it, it's just going to improve from there. So this is the sound we're going to work with in this video. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a really basic chord progression. So we're going with, I think I transposed my track up 1 semitone. Yeah, just to make it just for bass. But basically you can think of this as like I was going A minor, G major, F major, down to C major in triad position. So here is that sound. So a really basic chord progression, right? This is not something that sounds very emotional. Well, here's where you can start to make it sound more emotional. You can start to go in and tweak the voicing. So one thing I like to do is I like to take the third of each chord, which would be the second note in root position. So I was playing major triads, so they were in root position. And I think there's 1 minor triad there. Either way, it's still root position. All right, then you're going to transpose that up an octave. So it's going to spread out the voices. And now I'm going to transpose this down a whole octave. There it is. Vibey, has more character. So I actually played that progression in with my actual keys on my keyboard. I like the humanistic elements. So that's another thing you can do to make it sound more emotional is if you don't have a keyboard and you don't play keys, just change the velocity of random notes and humanize it. So I just played this in with the voicing we just created. All right, now from there, you can choose to stick with the piano sound or layer in some atmospheric types of sounds. You can do both, but what I first would suggest doing is finding the melody on the piano because you want to keep things simple. So you don't want to have like some crazy kind of left of center sound come in. You want it to blend nicely with the piano and with your chords in this example. So with every chord progression, there's going to be these notes that you can basically just hang on for multiple chords. So you want to find those. So it's usually notes that you're already playing. So for instance, I see I'm hitting a C, I'm hitting a B, right? So let's see what happens when I hang on a high C when this plays. Right, so just something simple like that. And you could draw these in and you could, there's really no rules about how you can set it up. But I want to basically apply that same technique, but I want to layer in other sounds, more atmospheric sounds. So here's a cool way you can do that. And you can do this with pretty much any synth. I'm going to use one of our presets from a pack, Gray Area. It sounds like this without any processing. It's a pluck. So what I'm doing is I'm just following those notes that I just found, that C note that I could hang on. Right? And I'm just kind of bouncing around. Then I play a rhythm that I like and then add some delay. So it gets a very syncopated kind of rhythmic play with what I'm playing. All right, so then what I'll do is I'll load up a delay plugin. It could be any delay plugin. And I'll have that kind of accent the rhythm I just played. Then we'll drench it in reverb so it's more atmospheric. We will filter out the high frequencies and some of the low frequencies. And there it is. And then I'll add a little bit of tremolo because in Logic doesn't have a dedicated auto pan. This is how you do it. And now it's going to bounce back and forth in our speakers. And we can actually layer in yet another sound. So instead of doing just the kind of syncopated sound, we could actually do something that's more atmospheric, like a pad. So here is a patch from our free pack, Haze. I'll put the link in the description. You can go download that. It's called Keys Ultra Chill. And without any processing, it sounds like this. So this is a great example where I'm hanging on just one note for 3 chords. This whole thing is just basically 3 notes. Now I'm gonna add similar processing, delay, some reverb, and some EQ to get it to fit, and check it out. Check out the piano. Right? And you can actually probably layer these 2 together, but you'd have to be careful of any half steps that you're creating. So let's change that note. So now they're playing the same thing. And let's layer in a bass and see how everything sounds together. And there it is. There are some simple techniques you guys can use to make your chords sound more emotional, give it a little bit more character. Like I said, you guys can download some of these presets I use in this video for free. Check that link out in the description. And if you need a really cool piano and you use Kontakt, check out our Loft piano. It's one of my favorite instruments that we've ever made. All right, so that's gonna sum up this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, you can post those below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. If you guys aren't subscribed to our channel, you know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. The support really does mean a lot to us. And if you guys haven't ever checked out our website, echosoundworks.com, definitely head on over there. There's a ton of free content, samples, loops, and presets. And of course, there's some premium sound sets and sample packs as well. And lastly, if you guys use Instagram, consider giving us a follow. We run a lot of contests, giveaways, and promotions on that platform. And I think you guys will like what we're doing over there. All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.